Hello, welcome, beautiful souls. Okay, so today we're continuing our exploration of sensuality, and we're going to continue to kind of dive into the depths and kind of uncover this richness of our body sensations, our emotions, and in general, just the experiences that really make life truly amazing. So we're gonna start by kind of trying to understand what sensuality is, although we got a little preview of it last time, and some of the profound benefits that really come from embracing and really embodying our sensual essence. Um, but before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to kind of reflect on our own understanding of sensuality. So, what comes to mind when you hear the word sensuality? I know for some people, sensuality feels dirty or forbidden. For others, it feels liberating and exhilarating. So, I'm just curious, like when I say sensuality, how does your body react to that? Does it contract or does it start to expand or start to kind of tingle with excitement? And how do you experience or even perceive sensuality in your own life? Um, for everyone it's different. But to be sensual is to really like fully engage our senses. To take in the sights and the sounds and the taste and the touches and the smells in every moment. It's really about like savoring, like I love watermelon. I love the way it kind of just like melts in your mouth and all the like juiciness. I love being out in the sun and just feeling the warmth on my face. I love listening to the birds outside my window, although maybe not so much at 4:30 in the morning. But once I'm awake, I fully love listening to the birds. But really, sensuality is about being mindful. And being mindful is just really being fully present in the moment, really allowing yourself to fully experience all of the sensations that life has to offer. And it's also about, and I've said this before, but it's really about embracing sensuality and embracing pleasure without the guilt or the shame that can sometimes come with it. And really just recognizing that our bodies are these beautiful vessels designed to have these sensations. So I'm curious, how often do you allow yourself to really experience pleasure in your daily life? I mean, does pleasure feel like frivolous? Like, okay, I just don't have time for sensuality. I don't have time for pleasure. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overworked. Like, pleasure's gonna have to take a back seat. Um, but and I kind of chuckle, but what I've realized, and I kind of did this to myself at one point. I was always working. I always had more to do, and never had time really for myself. And what I realized is that if we don't make time for pleasure, to really just enjoy the moment, we're really just going to find ourselves burned out and really pretty useless to everyone, including ourselves. So embracing sensuality really means honoring and prioritizing pleasure as a vital aspect of our holistic well-being. So we can eat well, we can do all of these things, but if we're not really taking pleasure in it, then I would argue that you're not really holistically healthy. So I'm wondering, like how can you like create more opportunity for pleasure in your life? Like what brings you pleasure? For me, it's peanut butter. I could put peanut butter on everything, and I love, love, love peanut butter. I love music. Maybe not at the same time. I try to keep my peanut butter and my music very separate. I'm joking, of course. I love both of them, and I could have either of them all the time. But also consider like the ways in which sensuality kind of fosters deeper connections, with yourself, with others, with the world around you. It's like we have these heightened like sensory awareness and presence, and the sensuality really invites us to fully engage with each moment, with each person, and it fosters a greater sense of intimacy and empathy and connection. I know there are some people that are empathic. I would consider myself empathic, where I can feel um what another person is feeling. So I mean, you don't need to go to that extreme, but it does help to be able to feel what a person is feeling. To feel their joy, to feel their pain, to feel their loneliness, to feel these things. It helps us to really connect on a deeper level. So how can you kind of nurture your deep connections through your sensual experiences? And also, sensuality is really a form of self-expression, a form of empowerment. But when we really embrace our sensual essence, we start to reclaim ownership of our bodies. We reclaim ownership of our desires, our pleasures, and we really start to free ourselves from, societal norms and expectations of what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. A lot of times I hear people say, "Oh, that's for kids." And I go, "Oh, okay, whatever. Like I like it and I'm going to do it." So, how can you honor and really celebrate your sensual self-expression? Do you like to dance? Do you like to create music? Do you like to mold beautiful sculptures with your hands? For me, if you let me loose with a glitter shaker, I'm in heaven. I could glitter everything. And that's my form of expression. I love bold colors. I love glitter. Um, and when we start to explore like what makes us happy, what really lights us up, we start to cultivate this self-love and this acceptance. And as we connect more deeply with our sensual selves, we start to foster this profound sense of self-awareness, of self-compassion, and again of self-acceptance. And so, how can you nurture a more loving relationship with your body and with yourself? For me, I love spin class. I love getting in there and sweating. I also love being able to be a little lazy sometimes. I love zenning out in yoga. Not the like make me sweat kind of yoga, but the like flexibility and really just relax kind of yoga. Um, I love jumping in my hot tub before bed, just looking up at the stars and really just taking that in. I even find like this wonderful pleasure in finding like a vanilla or a snickerdoodle is my latest one lotion, and just smelling it and just like rubbing it on my hands. Like that's how I show myself love, how I give myself pleasure. And while, pleasure just for the sake of pleasure is enough all by itself, there are actually a lot of benefits that pleasure and sensuality can bring to your life. And so in case, what we've talked about before isn't enough, I'm going to give you 10 benefits that pleasure and sensuality can bring to your life. Okay, so number one, it can actually enhance your emotional well-being. When we engage in these sensual experiences, it brings up these emotions of joy and pleasure and contentment. And this actually like triggers the release of like these feel-good hormones like endorphins and oxytocin, which promotes happiness and overall emotional wellness. So bonus, we get these feel good hormones. Number two, and this is partially also tied to the endorphins and the oxytocin, but it can reduce our stress. Imagine like immersing yourself in sensual activities like a warm bath or a gentle massage or aromatherapy or just indulging in your favorite music. And I'm sure just thinking about that, starting to melt away your stress. Number three, like I mentioned before, it can improve our relationships. When we start to embrace sensuality, with our loved ones, it does foster this empathy, this intimacy and this open communication. And sensuality can really help us to develop a deeper understanding of each other's desires and our needs. Like if I say, "Oh, sprinkles of glitter just make me extremely happy." I'm joking. Like you can get deeper than glitter. But when you really start to go, okay, what is it that really gives you pleasure? You develop a different level of relationship. Number four, it increases our self-awareness. When you start to tune into your senses, and you start to cultivate this mindfulness and this staying in the present moment, you really allow yourself to get to understand your own desires, your own boundaries, and your own values. Was that enjoyable? Great. We're gonna do more of that. Nope. Okay, let's cross it off our list. It's really how we get to know ourselves. Number five, it gives you this heightened sensory perception. Like when you engage in sensual experiences, it starts to sharpen your senses, and it really allows you to appreciate the beauty and the richness of life more fully. Like I remember I did this dining experience when I was in Paris, and it was called Dans le Noir, which means in the dark. And it was like literally every ounce, any place light could come in, it was entirely dark. And just taking away the sense of sight, and really having to kind of feel your way and taste the food. I mean, and like the 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 tastes were more vivid. It like the just the whole dining experience was more rich. And the only thing we did was take away the sense of sight. Number six, boosted creativity. When you really start to embrace your sensuality, and you really start to find yourself in the moment and taking everything in and taking in this beauty, it really starts to ignite your imagination, and it inspires your creativity and your creative expression. It really leads to fresh perspectives, innovation, and even like greater problem solving. It's almost like you've opened your aperture to what you can see, and it gives you a broader perspective. Number seven, it gives you greater body confidence. Like really embracing sensuality involves accepting and appreciating your body and its experiences, which leads to an improved body image and increased self-confidence. Number eight, enhanced physical health. So sensual activities like mindful eating or yoga or meditation, they promote healthier lifestyle habits, and they contribute to overall well-being. Instead of just rushing through life, which releases the stress hormone of cortisol, you really start to take things in, and so that can increase your physical health. Number nine, a deeper spiritual connection. Like just imagine these sensual experiences where you're taking everything in around you. It starts to facilitate this sense of connection to something greater than yourself, whether it's nature or the universe or a higher power. You just start to take it all in, and you start to become more receptive to everything around you. And finally, number 10, it'll increase your fulfillment of life. When you really start to embrace sensuality, and you savor the richness in each moment, you just unlock a deeper sense of fulfillment and a deeper sense of purpose in your life. So there you have it. As if pleasure was not enough in itself, now you have 10 incredible benefits of embracing the sensuality in your own life. So I hope that this video has inspired you to really tap into your senses and experience the world in a whole new light, to really start to see all of the beauty around you. And if it has, please forward it to a friend, subscribe below. I'm going to be posting at least every Friday. This week, probably a little bit more. And if you want to check out any of my other offerings, you can go to my website, and it's also in the notes below at www.ourworldempowered.com. And until next time, stay sensual, stay vibrant, and stay true to yourself.